Hello and welcome to today's video for the Hobby Organist channel. I just thought I'd share with you before we start some interesting little facts about the channel so far. We started the channel back in March on the 17th, seems a long way ago now, we're now starting in May. But since then we have actually grown and accumulated 235 subscribers, and we are today, as of today, we've had 20,000 views on the channel, which equates to about 2,000 hours worth of watching from various people around the world. So thank you very much for watching them and enjoying them and supporting us. And I hope you're really getting lots back from it, and it's really enhancing your hobby and making this lockdown a little bit more bearable. It also did work out that we've actually done 31 videos so far, so this will be the 32nd, and if you sat and watched them all, that will give you 10.5 hours of enjoyment of me and Tom playing and showing all these lovely organs off to you. And so far, actually, in that, since we started the channel, the most popular video has been day 14. So I'll leave you to have a look and see what day 14 was and see what was so special about that one to make it so popular. So thank you again for watching, thank you for supporting us. We're going to keep doing this for a long time, for as long as we need to, because it just seems to have hit the right note with everybody. So today, this is quite a nice video to do, because we're with what is, to us at Alan's Music Centre, one of our favourite organs actually. I know we say that a lot, that we love all the organs and they all have special place in our hearts, and they're all incredible. But this organ, the Sensation, was a very special organ for us when we first started doing Lowrey organs in the UK, and it probably single-handedly doubled our sales of Lowrey, mainly because it was a more compact model. All the Lowreys we've been showing people before were incredible instruments. They had these great big horseshoe cabinets and they looked amazing. But we always had people saying, well, it won't fit in where I'd have my normal organ, it's a bit too big and so forth. And so when the Sensation came along, it was kind of the perfect organ. It was almost, it had been designed for the UK, because it was only 48 inches long, 2 61 note manuals, a 13 note pedal board, a multi-channel speaker system including the subwoofer, that's a key thing. It has the flute board inside it, so you've got amazing flute sounds and the drawbar facility, and it was just an incredible organ. And when it came to the end of its life, we really didn't want it to end. And so we got Lowrey to update the organ for us and give it a new lease of life. They went in and changed some of the speakers and the amplifiers and tweaked things and put a new brain in it with lots of new sounds and styles. And we came up with the Sensation Special Edition. And to this day, it is still one of our most popular organs. It's a very, very popular seller, and it's always a joy to sit down and play it. And so the reason why I'm sitting in front of a Sensation today is to show our Sensation owners something that they have already, but may not realise that they have. And that's been actually one of the themes that's come back several times actually from various videos that we've done, is we've shown people things on the organ like the software packs or features and so forth that they never realised that they had, and so it's been a fantastic opportunity for them to discover something new about the organ that they already have sitting in their home. So I'm sitting here with a Sensation Special Edition. This one has been upgraded, so it has the USB port, and so I have my USB sticks. Now all the people that bought Sensations in the UK should have got a USB stick with it, and they should have got a little chart that looks like this that tells them what's on the USB stick. In fact, I'm doing this on the Sensation at the moment, but all of our users in the UK that bought a Royale, and the regular Sensation, the Sensation Special Edition, a Stardust, will have had this memory stick come along with the organ, and they would have had this chart. And on this memory stick we put lots of additional registrations for the organ. In fact, this memory stick duplicates the job of 100 floppy disks. Now we didn't have enough stuff to fill up 100 floppy disks, but we filled up the first 8 tracks. So there's 8 floppy disks worth on this memory stick. And there are 2 packs on here that kind of get all the attention. There's the famous names and the theatre organ packs, which we have already described in previous videos. And in fact they are incredible packs for this organ. But there is one pack on here which I particularly like, because one that I did myself, which we call the Ultimate Preset Pack. And I thought today's video would be an opportunity to show you that pack and what sounds are on it, because it is such a great pack. And as I say, it's easy for us to overlook something that we already have sitting there. And even if you have tried it out, maybe it's an opportunity to go back and revisit it. So I've taken my memory stick and I've put it into the USB port. And I'm going to move my little number, which is over here, with my tiny little buttons onto track number 4, which is shown on the list as being the ultimate presets. And so we then come to the screen and we use our disc functions as usual. We press disc and we've got the option load presets. So you have to wait a few seconds for it to have a look on the stick, and the disc or the organ thinks it's looking at a floppy disk that exists on that stick, and it comes up with all the presets. In fact, this particular pack has 12 tracks on it. So there's a lot of stuff here. There's 10 presets in each one, so there's 120 presets. And it's divided into two halves. There's one half where I spent some time creating sounds. So solo voices, instruments, again using the ability in the organ to be able to adjust and manipulate things to try and make sounds that are new, that you haven't heard from the organ before. And then the second half of the pack is actually using those sounds and registrations in conjunction with styles and so forth. So let's have a go. I've pressed my load, and the first one that comes up, it says Ulti Solo Pam P. So it's pan pipes. So I'm going to touch that. I'm going to touch all. And we just have to be patient, wait a couple of seconds for it to load in. And like all preset packs, it's going to load into bank A. And like all preset packs, we can press our custom buttons down here. On the sensation, it's number 2. If it's on the Stardust Royale, it'll be number 4. And it will show you the names of the sounds on there. So this first pack, as its name describes, has put in some new panpipe sounds. Very popular sound in Europe. We love our panpipes. And we put some nice echo on there. See what we did there, using the glide. And we did combinations of the panpipe, so we had the panpipe with some bells. Sounds we haven't put a style with them, so you're free to put any style you want with them, so you can use anything. You can go back to the original panpipe and play it with a Latin, have a bossa nova. If we're playing the be good with if we put the polka on, and we had our we were talking the other day and we played the folk Reading style when we played If It Were a Rich Man. Well, we could use that same style. It would be fun to have that in the choir. So that's the panpipes. Let's have a look on the next track. We go to disc. We've touched load presets. And we have a look at the next lot that's going to come up. So we had the panpipes there. The next lot is piano. Big thing for me, I love piano sounds. We did some saxophones. Let's just have a quick try with the pianos. Let's press pianos. All. Now when we set these presets up, as we do for all of our packs, we tend to assume that people don't want touch sensitivity. So even though we're playing there with a piano sound, we're not using what we call the dynamic keying so much. But if you can play with it, this is going to be actually something we're going to do in a video next week. You can add more expression to it. So. Solo piano. And again, we've got a little bit of beautiful. We've got a nice deep solo piano. And what we did with the voicing, we actually naturally added a little bit of sustain to it, so without having to use the damper pedal, and we've got sustain on there. But that would be nice if you put on a slow swing with that. Let's go to say the swing category. Just some lovely piano strings. Obviously piano strings always works very well. Sensation always had a lovely piano sound. I used to love doing concerts on the Sensation with this lovely strings and piano. Something that I really like. Got a nice jazz piano there. Let's have a look on the next lot. No presets. For me, actually, this has been lots of fun for me to sort of revisit things that this particular pack, because as I say, it's lots of my favourite sounds in here. We're carrying on here with a nice solo saxophone section. They're all loaded in. Let's call up Custom 2 so we can see what we're in there. Got a nice breathy tenor. Just put that with a nice slow swing again. Maybe not that slow. Got a soprano in there as well. Good old baritone as well. Nice baritone. A few rock and roll. Have we got load presets. So all we're doing is just jumping backwards and forwards to loading from the disc. And incidentally, so I'm doing this on the Sensation, but any of our owners that have Stardust and Royales and normal Sensations, this will all work on your organs as well. We've got trumpets there. We won't play through them all. Oh, this is a nice category, smooth organ. This is something we get asked about a lot when on a lot of our DVDs. Or videos that we record on YouTube. I keep calling them DVDs because originally when we first produced videos on these organs on the Sensation, they were filmed to be DVDs. We didn't really have YouTube to show them to everybody, and so we literally had to make a DVD and press it and send it out to everybody. And this was in the early days of us making DVDs, and I remember particularly the Sensation video. If you go back to the main channel, you should be able to see the Sensation video, because it was actually the second video that we made. The first video we made was recorded on the Stardust and the smaller organs, the Odyssey and the Carnival, with my colleagues Tom and Oliver. And that particular video was shot on the shop floor. And so we came in on a Sunday and we turned all the phones off, and we did all our filming. And they were all done with one camera. It was kind of us sitting and talking to a camera, rather like we're doing now. So it's a little bit more professional because they had a more expensive camera. But when we came to do the sensation video, which was the next video, we thought it would be nice to have a different location, somewhere that had more space and was quieter and better lighting. Because if anybody's ever visited our showroom, you'll know that our showroom is actually underneath in the shopping centre, so we're covered over, so we don't have any natural light, we only have artificial light. And we are beside the bus station. And so on that video, if you listen very carefully, you can still hear the buses sitting outside with their engines idling away. And so we thought it would be nice to go somewhere where it was a little bit different, where we'd have more space for the filming and it would be quieter and we'd have better lighting. So we found a very nice hotel that had this lovely ballroom, and it had a great big skylight at the top of it. We thought that would be absolutely ideal. So we went along and we started setting up, and I've probably said this a lot of times before, when we do these videos professionally, it takes a long time setting up all the equipment. It's a bit frustrating sometimes. Me and Tom go along, we want to get playing, and we have to wait ages while they're setting up all the technical stuff. So we set up all the technical stuff, we got the organ ready, got a perfect sort of camera angle to film it at. And then we realised that because we had this great big skylight and it was a very cloudy day, that the clouds kept coming across and changing completely the lighting, which is quite fundamental when you're filming a video. And so it looked rather ridiculous. I'd be sitting there playing and suddenly we'd all go dark and suddenly we'd go bright again, and it just wasn't working out at all. So we had a look around, and beside the ballroom there was this tiny little bar area. And so we thought, well, at least that hasn't got a skylight. So we rushed over and squeezed the organs into this little bar area, and we filmed the DVD actually in the bar area for this ballroom. And so our initial plans of having this big open space for the organ turned out to be completely scuppered. And so if you look at the video, it's in a very enclosed space. We didn't have a lot of time to do it, in fact, because we wasted the whole morning not filming in the ballroom. And if you listen very carefully, you can even hear the fridges in the background that were behind the bar because the hotel wouldn't turn them off while we were filming. So that was quite a stressful day filming the sensation video, but we were very, very pleased with the results of it. And it went on to make the sensation, say, one of the most popular organs that we've actually ever sold since we started doing Lowrey. So yeah, so a bit of fun with that video. So have a look back, and if you look at the very first video of us doing the Stardust, and listen carefully, you can hear the buses in the background because it's on the shop floor. And so in the sensation one, you'll see that we're all tucked in. And in fact, actually, personally, I think it looked a lot nicer, actually, because it looked nice and cosy with the organs in there. And let's say, just in the background, there's this slight buzz coming from the fridges. Anyway, I diverse. So I was saying that if we're showing you this on a sensation, but say if you've got a Royale or a Stardust, all this applies as well. So we've just loaded in the smooth organ ones. Yeah, why did I always go off? I went off talking about smooth organ because one of the things that people ask about the DVDs is about the lovely organ sounds that we use. Especially at the beginning, we call it the smooth Lowrey sound. And genuinely, that sound is something that we don't really normally make up as a preset, because it's the sound that the organ starts off at. But we had so many requests for it, so when we did the preset pack for the Sensation and for the SU series, I did a whole set of nice gentle organ style registrations. So these are lovely ones, I like these. There's a smooth organ. on the smooth organ bank. Let's go back. Disc, load presets. I hope we're not overrunning on time, but we've all the time in the world at the moment, so there's no rush. Let's take a bit of time and have a play through all these. Oh, jazz organ, this is nice. I'm a big fan of jazz organ. There's lots of people who know I love jazz organ. And what's great about the SU series of organs, because the Sensation is part of what we call the SU series. I keep mentioning the names Royale, Stardust and Sensation. They were using what we call SU technology. The next generation of Lowrey organs are called the A series, which are familiar with things like models like the Prestige, a Legend, Symphony, Symphony Showcase, Imperial, and Liberty. And then we moved on to the most recent editions with the E series. So the SU series was a great foundation for us because they really brought the organs bang up to date with some great voicing, the colour touch screens. And one of the things that all the flagship SU organs have, and the Sensation has it, is a separate flute board. Inside the organ there's a separate circuit board for creating the flute sounds. And that makes us gives us the biggest selection, it gives us the drawbars, but it also means we have a thing here where we can change the tone of the flute tabs. So when we're playing normally a Lowrey organ, we have red lights here, and the flute tabs are the mellow, warm Lowrey sound. If we press our flute jazz tab over here, it turns these lights green, and it changes the timbre of these flute tabs, and also the shape of them, so that the attack is much faster. And so it generates basically a jazz sound, which is kind of recreating the kind of Hammondy kite sound. So when I was making these jazz registrations, again on the Sensation, I was able to hit that jazz button, and you see all these go green, and so we get these fantastic jazz organ sounds. You hear straight away, you've got much more attack, much brighter. Without a ribbon, but you're quite happy to put a ribbon with them, so you can put a nice say swing with them. Speed it up a bit if you're doing jazz. So that's the jazz look. Now, that's the last of what we will call the basic sounds, which you're able to put your own styles with. The next set of registrations that are on this pack are actually named after styles of music. So there's country, soft and easy, slow swing, ballads and rock and roll. Each one of those will set up the style as well, so with some tempo and so forth. So for example, if we go to the country ones, let's load them all in. There we go. We have our country registration. So jump down, press custom button number 2, always tells us what's in there. And we've got some lovely country swings. So this time the style has been set up for me, but I can change that style or change the tempo if I want to. dancing. Only one song to play for that. The sensation has a fantastic rhythm section. I actually love all those styles. That's our country ones. Let's go back. And low presets. Come on, organ. Catch up with me. There we go. Country, soft and easy, of course. One of my favourite kind of styles. Nice laid back kind of ballads. Something that Lowrys are very, very good at. And of course, it's one of the most popular styles of music to play because we're not always wanting to play at hundreds of miles an hour. So we set some nice ones up with the for the panpipe, so we've got a nice rhythm with it. Guitar. Nice soft and organ ballad. Do slow swing all, and slow swing again is one of my I love these kind of like laid back kind of styles. go back to disc, load presets, and we played through the country ones there, we played through soft and easy, done to the slow swing. What have we got left on here? Well, we've got ballads and rock and roll. Let's do ballads 6/8. Always like a nice 6/8 ballad. A 6/8 ballad obviously is different from normal slow and easy rhythm because it's using kind of the triplets timing, so you've got that duh 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 coming along in there. And so we do, the trumpet ballad of course is kind of a James Last kind of. Proves its line. I really need to learn how to play that song, don't I? But you get the idea. It's all good fun. We all make mistakes. That's the thing that, you know, never be embarrassed about making mistakes. It doesn't matter. I've been playing the organ for 40 odd years and I still mess it up quite often, so don't feel bad about yourself if you make mistakes. It happens to everybody. And especially now when my memory's not as good as it was. So let's do the track 12, rock and roll. This is the ultimate rock and roll one. So I hope you enjoyed that little journey through the Ultimate Preset Pack. So let's just recap that that's available on Stardust, Royale and Sensation. And if you bought your Lowrey organ from us in the UK, that would have come with the USB stick that was supplied with the organ. It'll be sitting there on track number 4. And all those sounds are in there on that track number 4. That's all you need to go to is number 4. Go to load presets, and I think you'll be amazed at all that stuff you can find in there. If you didn't buy the organ from us, and you've acquired an organ sort of second hand from elsewhere, sort of privately or from another dealer, and you want to get that memory stick, if it's not come along with the organ, then we can supply that as well. If you've bought a Stardust or a Royale or a Sensation overseas, and you don't have a USB drive fitted, we can supply this pack actually on floppy disk as well, so everybody can enjoy it, because it really does make a difference to your actual organ. because they are fantastic instruments, and there's some great sounds and styles in there, as we just heard for the past half an hour. You can have a lot of fun with them. So that's our Ultimate Registrations pack. I hope you've enjoyed that little journey through it. There's one little bonus actually on this pack, just finally to mention, that we don't normally do this, but actually on that pack there are some little pre-recorded pieces of music just to demonstrate the registrations. We thought it would be a nice idea just to have some little demos on there. So if you go to your music recorder, there's a panpipes demo, a piano demo, saxophone demo. In fact, there's a demonstration of all of the tracks actually on there, just as we've been doing. So if you want to just have the organ play to you, go to piano demo, press play. Does it play? Come on. Ah. Hey, Jackie's theme. One little trick I could just show you while you're using a pre-recorded song while it's playing away background there. If you are curious about trying to work out the notes which are being played on a recording like that, the nature of the Lowrey recording is such that it's playing that actually on the organ. So the sound isn't being played back, it actually is physically playing those notes as if I'm playing them. It's what we call an event recording. And so you can see what's going on. So if you look on the chords here, you can see the chords that I'm playing, you can see the pedal note I'm using, and in fact if you want to be really clever, you can go into your features button, scroll through and find the one that's called keyboard screen, now on page 7. If you choose that, you can actually see in real time the actual notes that I'm playing. They all light up. So if anybody's wanted to work out how to play Jackie's theme, you can actually copy the notes from that screen. So there you go. I think I've overrun quite a lot today, but it's been fun actually chatting about, and I've enjoyed my time with the Sensation. So have a good weekend. For all of you with the SU organs, that's something to explore and delve into that maybe you didn't know was there already with your organ. Keep yourself safe and well. Keep your ideas coming in. We love ideas for new videos. Next week I'm going to talk about some voice editing, because on all Lowreys we have the ability to adjust voicing, so somebody's asked about doing that. I'm going to talk about touch sensitivity as well a lot more next week, because that's a big thing. If you can use this time to experiment and learn with your technique to get better using the touch, that can make a big difference. And there's some other ideas that we're going to continue maybe on some of the other organs as well. So have a good weekend. I'm really enjoying my time with you doing all these videos. It's probably why they're getting longer and longer. And thank you for your support. As I say, over 200 subscribers, 20,000 views is incredible in our first 6 weeks. So hope you're keeping safe and keep enjoying the hobby. And I'll see you again next week.